What's going on, guys? This is James KN4NEH, and welcome to this special introduction to Field Day, the biggest ham radio event of the year, where tens of thousands of hams come together to operate, improve their skills, log contacts, compete, and in general, just have a good time. So we're gonna help you get prepped and get involved if this is your first Field Day, and hopefully if you've already done Field Day several times, we'll just provide some helpful information and maybe some new stuff about 2024 that will be interesting to you.
This is Ham Radio. KN4NEH, this is more beautiful. I hear
So when is Field Day? Well, Field Day is always the fourth full weekend in June. This year in 2024, Field Day will be on Saturday, June 22nd and Sunday, June 23rd. So it's pretty easy to work with your work schedule. The great thing about Field Day is that whether you're a serious contester or you're just a beginner, you can get involved and have a great time. So during Field Day, ham radio clubs all over the US and even internationally will host meetups to operate together and log their contacts. So if you're listening to the bands, you're gonna hear a lot of traffic on the bands. Hams from home are also gonna hop in on their radio and join in on the fun too. But it really revolves around getting out, getting portable, operating, meeting other hams. But like I said, if you're at home, you can get involved too. So how do you get involved? Before Saturday, June 22nd, when Field Day starts, here's what you need to do. First, I would highly recommend finding a local club to meet up with. This is just a great way to connect with other hams in your area that can share some knowledge. You can operate together. You might even kick back and just have some refreshments and take turns operating a club station. There are a few good resources to find a club or group near you, which we'll link below. They probably have a posted date or time for the meetup with an open invite. But don't be afraid to shoot them a message. The ham radio community is super welcoming to new folks. So even if you haven't made your first contact yet, or you're still studying for your exam, it's worth checking out. Shoot the club the message, find a date where they're meeting up. Again, generally this is gonna be on a Saturday afternoon or even a Sunday. So find that club and find some folks that you can get involved and operate with. But by now you're probably asking yourself, okay, that's when Field Day is, but what actually happens during Field Day? What do I expect if I go to a Field Day event or if I'm operating during Field Day? Well, it's sort of a combination of a social event, but don't get me wrong, Field Day is also a competition. The competition is open to all operators in Region 2, which is essentially North and South America, so all of the US is covered by that. The event starts at 1800 UTC Saturday, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in Atlanta, and ends at 2059 UTC Sunday, which is 4:59 Eastern Daylight Time on Sunday. But you can only work a maximum of 24 consecutive hours for the competition. The rules are pretty simple. Try to make as many contacts with as many other stations as possible on essentially all the HF bands, 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 are all included, as well as bands 50 megahertz or above. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated when you start thinking about points and multipliers, but we'll save that for just another minute here. Field Day is essentially an all-band, all-mode contest, which makes this event perfect for the whole community, and it's easy to hop on and get involved. No matter what your equipment, no matter what your antenna, you can make some contacts and participate in Field Day. Even if you're a beginner, you're not competitive, don't be afraid to go to one of those meetups or scan the bands and see if you can make some contacts. If you haven't made a contact yet, we have some great videos on how to make your first contact, which I would recommend reviewing before Field Day, just so you have a little bit more context coming in. When you do start operating, it's a great idea to log your contacts either for the competition or just for your own personal reference. You have a number of different logging options. You can write them down by paper. You can enter them electronically later. The World Radio League offers a really easy to use web blocker that has Field Day information built in. So if you go to worldradioleague.com and sign up for a free account, you can start logging your contacts there as well. Once the event starts, within the World Radio League, you're gonna have an event-specific logbook that's gonna have the contest information, the exchange that you need for Field Day. But essentially when you're doing logging, if you're new to logging, you're entering basic information like call sign, mode, frequency about the contact. And in this case, because it's Field Day, you're gonna be entering a Field Day specific exchange. So an exchange is just additional information you'll say when you're making a contact on Field Day that's specific for Field Day. In the case of field day, you have two exchanges. The first is your operating class, and the second is the ARRL/RAC section. So before operating, you need to know your class, and if you're operating with a club, they'll probably just tell you what class to use, but you're gonna need to know your exchange, and you're gonna be ready to accept and write down the exchange of the other operators. So let's quickly just review the different classes and how you would create your exchange for field day. So Class A is generally used for clubs or small groups of 3 or more people who are portable. Class B is used for 1 or 2 people operating portable. You can also claim Class B battery if you're using a battery and less than 5 watts. Class C is for mobile stations, including maritime and aeronautical mobile. Class D is for home stations. If you're operating from your home and you're using your home power, you could use Class D. Class E is the same as home, except you're operating off of emergency power, like battery or generator. Class F is for emergency operations centers at an established EOC site. You'll also need to say the number of transmitters as the first part of your class. So going through those classes, let's take a look at an example. If you're operating with 1 transmitter as a single person operating portable, you would say 1B or 1 Bravo for your class. A 2 transmitter club station would say 2C or 2 Charlie as the class. And again, knowing your phonetic alphabet comes in handy here. This is just a quick overview of the classes, so be sure to check the included links if you want more specifics to make sure you choose the right class when operating on field day. All right, so you know your class, which is the first exchange, but there's the second exchange, which is your ARRL and RAC section. And in general, this is pretty easy because for most of the US states, or many of the US states at least, your section is the same as the 2-letter abbreviation of the state. So for me, operating as a portable individual in Georgia with 1 transmitter, my exchanges would be 1B or 1 Bravo for my class, and Georgia or Golf Alpha for my section.
Alpha Alpha 1 Romeo Charlie is 1 Bravo Golf Alpha.
But for many states like Massachusetts, Florida, especially the bigger states, you may have a further breakdown of your class. Like for instance, Eastern Massachusetts is EMA or Echo Mike Alpha, or North Florida is NFL or November Fox Lima for North Florida. So just be sure to check the section reference. We'll include a link to that as well. And remember, you're going to be both sending and receiving exchanges when you're logging and operating. So be ready to give your exchange, maybe write it down, have it handy so you don't forget, and listen to the exchange of the other operator. Again, I would just recommend writing down, if you're new to ham radio, write down your call sign, write down your exchange so that you've got it handy and you don't get confused when things start moving a little bit faster on the air. So let's just give a quick example of how this might sound on the air. So I hear another station calling CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day. I'm going to answer with my call sign.
CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day.
Kilo November 4 November Echo Hotel.
Kilo November 4 November Echo Hotel. This is Alpha Alpha 1 Romeo Charlie 2 Alpha Georgia.
QSL, I copy that. I am 1 Alpha Georgia as well.
Thanks, 73. Good luck.
And that's it. So I've got their call sign, gonna write down their call sign, gonna write down the exchange that they gave me, and then he's gonna write down the exchange that I gave them as well. So super easy. All right, now let's take a quick example of logging that contact using the World Radio League logbook. All right, so I've got my account created here at worldradioleague.com. I can come in here to the contest section. And the event hasn't started yet, but you'll see a special event listed here for ARRL Field Day. And this is going to have some links to your rules, as well as some additional information. I can also just sign up and get notified as the event's getting started. I can see here that 34 people are signed up within World Radio League to participate, and I can check out their profiles as well. And then I can go to my logbook. Now, it hasn't started yet, so I won't see my logbook, but when the contest starts, you're going to have a special logbook that has the field day exchange. I'm going to click into just a general logbook here and create a logbook to give you an example. I'll call this the James Test Field Day Logbook. And you can see here I have my call sign. I can set my location to a saved location, maybe my home location. I can go ahead and set my radio antenna if I want to track that as well. But yeah, generally if I'm logging a contact with AA1RC, I can put that in. I can put my frequency, my band. And in the case of field day, you're going to have two special fields as a part of this exchange as well. That's going to be the section and class of the other operator. So just make sure to enter that information for field day and you'll be on your way. You log the contact, it's in the logbook, and you're good to go. And even if you're just using a paper log when you're actually operating, you can write those down and you can enter them in later into your digital log just for your own reference. For the more serious contesters, we won't be able to go into all the details here, but just know that you need to understand the different multipliers based on power, mode, location, and even lots of different special bonuses. One special bonus you may want to know about is for getting new operators on the air, or the GOAT-up bonus. So let's say you're new to ham radio and you show up to an event. Some clubs may actually be really happy to see you because you could show up and get your first contact and they could claim a GOAT-up bonus if they're set up for it. So even if you don't have a license, you may be able to hop in and make a contact under the supervision of a licensed operator. Just show up, be respectful, and ask the clubs if they're set up to help you out with that. So we've covered a really good overview to get you started with field day, but we're going to link to some more resources if you really want to get more involved, if you want to get scored, and to help you find the local clubs near you. When field day is over, be sure to export your logs from WRL or the logger of your choice and enter them into the website for scoring and tracking. Anyway, that's an introduction to field day. Get out and operate. I hope to hear you on the air. And the Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League team are going to be checking out a few club events here in Atlanta, so look out for some videos of operating during field day as well. And also check out the live scoreboard on World Radio League so you can see other operators logging in real time. See you at field day, and I hope to hear you on the air soon. 73.
Head on over to hamradioprep.com to get started with our online courses. It's the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to pass your ham radio license exam. Our team of ham radio experts will teach you all the material on the test with quizzes, games, and practice tests to reinforce your knowledge. You can study right from the comfort of your own home and even on your smartphone. Courses are available for all three levels of ham radio licenses: Technician, General, and Amateur Extra. The program is so effective that we guarantee you'll pass your exam on your first try or your money back. What are you waiting for? Visit hamradioprep.com today and join over 60,000 students who have successfully completed the course. I'm Jim, N4BFR. Thanks for watching, and from all of us at Ham Radio Prep, we hope to hear you on the air soon.